Yes, it's really happening. Jake Paul will face the two-time unified heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua on Friday, December the 19th in Miami, Florida. It's going to be an 8-round fight with 3-minute rounds.
So Jake versus AJ just got announced. They're planning a face-to-face soon, and the internet is exploding. Jake is ready to bark. AJ is ready to blink once and end someone's bloodline, and every fan is sitting there like it's Christmas morning with explosives. Are we about to witness the greatest shock in boxing history, or Jake finding out what gravity really feels like? Stick around, because this showdown is about to detonate the entire sport.
A problem with this one, because Anthony Joshua is a 2-time world champion. Jake Paul's a YouTuber and doesn't deserve the right to be in a ring with Anthony
Well, don't buy the fight then.
It's dangerous. I mean, it's a dangerous fight. We saw what Anthony Joshua had done to Francis Ngannou. This is a fight.
I know, but what I'm
People
saying
are going in there, their health is at risk.
But the only reason they're
put
doing
someone
it...
in there in a ring.
I know, Jay.
And you say the only reason we're doing it is for money. That don't sit right with me.
Fine, then don't buy
when
it.
We've seen boxers die who got punched in the face. Fine. You want to make some money. Eddie Hearn, all that matchroom, they're going to make a fortune, right? Fine. Jake Paul's going to make a fortune. Anthony Joshua makes a fortune.
No build-up, no easing into it, just straight into the mayhem. The boxing world must have woken up, looked around, and said, you know what? Forget logic. Let's put Jake Paul in front of Anthony Joshua and see whether physics or confidence collapses first.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago. And now all of a sudden, he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on.
This isn't influencer boxing anymore. This is the deep end of a pool filled with sharks, and Jake is cannonballing in with floaties shaped like self-belief and audacity. Anthony Joshua, meanwhile, looks like the kind of man who drinks confidence for breakfast and washes it down with protein powder and existential clarity.
It's a professional heavyweight fight against an elite world champion in his prime. When I beat Anthony Joshua, every doubt disappears and no one can deny me the opportunity to fight for a world title. To all my haters, this is what you wanted. To the people of the United Kingdom, I am sorry. Well, Joshua has said this: Jake or anyone can get this work. No mercy. I took some time out and I'm coming back with a mega show. It's a big opportunity for me, whether you like it or not. I'm here to do massive numbers, have big fights and break every record whilst keeping cool, calm and collected. Mark my words, you'll see a lot more fighters take these opportunities in the future. I'm about to break the internet over Jake Paul's face.
The craziest part? This isn't some exhibition where everyone promises to play nice and maybe upload an Instagram photo together afterward. This one goes on their records. They're real professional records, meaning all the trash talk, all the wild predictions, and whatever happens when the bell rings will be tattooed into the history of boxing forever.
There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look. Bit chubby, bit bulky.
There's no, oops, just kidding. No, that didn't count. No friendly spar. This is all business, and one of these men is going to walk away with a legacy boost. While the other one walks away politely pretending their career didn't just get detonated, everyone keeps asking the same question. Can Jake Paul actually step up and beat Anthony Joshua? And on paper, this is like asking if a luxury sedan can outrun a freight train. Sure, theoretically, anything is possible. Maybe the sedan has rocket boosters, maybe the train is feeling sleepy that day, maybe gravity calls in sick. And Jake Paul has built an entire career by doing things that absolutely should not be possible, starting with skyrocketing from YouTube pranks to knocking out grown combat athletes while the world stood there blinking like, wait, what? This is a world champion who looks like he was sculpted out of the same material Marvel uses to build superheroes. When he steps into the ring, it's not just a fight, it's a geography lesson in how hard the ground can feel when someone makes you travel to it involuntarily. Every punch from AJ looks like it was delivered with the power of 5 generations of athletic DNA meeting one singular purpose: violence executed politely and efficiently.
Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury. You can't. Anthony Joshua cannot box Jake Paul. Horrific. He's dangerous for one, and two, if Jake Paul even lands a glove on him, it just diminishes everything that he's achieved. Jake Paul won't last 2 minutes for me. Never mind Anthony Joshua. It's ridiculous. It's a joke.
If AJ does say yes to going in against Jake Paul, does he harm his legacy?
I would lose a bit of respect for him, and I think a lot of boxing people would as well, to be honest. Why would he box him? 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, one of the best heavyweights the last 20 years, held British boxing on his back. People might say he deserves to box Jake Paul. But why though?
Still, Jake Paul has the one quality that terrifies opponents. He simply does not care about what he is supposed to do. He enters fights the way an overachieving golden retriever enters a park. Full speed, no hesitation, powered by blind enthusiasm and the unshakable belief that everyone else is wrong. He trains like someone who thinks destiny owes him something, which is either the bravest or most dangerous mentality a fighter can have. And unlike his early days, he's not coming in soft, not relying on surprise, not looking unprepared. He's walking into this with real confidence, real skills, and a real chance to shock the world in a way that keeps therapists everywhere employed. As Fight Night creeps closer, the absurdity of it all only makes it more exciting. The promotional posters look like AI prompts gone feral. Put a YouTube superstar who punches like a runaway bulldozer in the same ring as a former heavyweight champion who could probably bench press a small car. Every sports commentator will suddenly become an expert in psychological warfare, while every retired fighter will start checking their phones to make sure Jake isn't calling them next. The world will divide into two groups, people celebrating and people Googling how to cope with existential crisis caused by sports.
And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
But if Anthony Joshua wins, oh, the relief would echo across continents. Traditionalists will sleep like babies wrapped in silk sheets. Boxing historians will smile knowing the natural order has been preserved. The memes will be unstoppable, and Jake Paul will have to stand there pretending he didn't just get punched into a new zodiac sign. Yet even then, the man will shrug it off with the same energy that made him famous. Well, guess I'll fight another giant next Thursday. That's the beauty of it. The stakes are massive for both men. If Jake Paul loses, critics get a holiday. If Anthony Joshua loses, critics get a lifetime membership. And because this is a real pro fight, one stamped into the official record books, nobody can hide behind excuses or post-fight loopholes. There's nowhere to run except forward, and the only exit is through fists. The comedic part is how serious everything suddenly feels. There's nowhere to run except forward, and the only exit is through fists. The comedic part is how serious everything suddenly feels. People who were laughing a year ago are now adjusting their predictions like accountants during tax season. When that bell rings, every narrative ever told about Jake Paul will be tested. Is he a lucky brawler riding hype, or is he a genuine disruptor who's been gaslighting the laws of combat physics on purpose? And on the other side stands Anthony Joshua, a man with every physical advantage, every credential, and zero interest in becoming anyone's stepping stone.
I think we're looking at the retirement fight for Jake Paul here. It has been made official. Jake Paul is fighting Anthony Joshua in an 8-round fight. If this fight makes it past the 3rd round, I might really lose my mind. This is an actual professional bout. This is going on both their records. This doesn't even make sense from a business standpoint for Jake Paul, let alone a fighter standpoint. You don't fight someone like Mr. 3-time world champion, heavyweight world champion. You don't fight someone like this until you get like at least a belt of your own.
The collision of delusion and discipline has never been more violently entertaining. By the time the first punch lands, everyone watching, supporters, haters, analysts, armchair coaches, will experience the same horrifying realization. This is actually happening, a legitimate professional fight that will change legacies, alter reputations, and live forever in record books. Someone's future will skyrocket, someone's confidence will need CPR. And that is why this matchup is insanity at its finest. Two worlds, two egos, two career trajectories crashing together in glorious slow-motion chaos. The only certainty is that nobody is coming out of this the same. Whether Jake Paul shocks the planet or Anthony Joshua reinforces the laws of nature, the world will never forget the night when boxing collectively said, let's embrace the chaos and see who survives. Jake Paul changing the game wasn't supposed to happen. He's finally challenging someone his size, his weight class, someone who isn't retired, undersized, or built like an overworked gym teacher. This fight isn't just a stunt. It's a declaration that he's no longer asking to be taken seriously. He's demanding it with a megaphone taped to a sledgehammer.
Did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
For years, every Jake Paul matchup came with a parade of disclaimers. Well, he hasn't fought a boxer. Well, he picked a smaller guy. Well, the opponent hadn't trained properly. Well, the sun was in his eyes, Mercury was in retrograde, and the arena popcorn was stale. Every performance came with an asterisk so big it deserved its own billboard. But this time, no such safety nets. Anthony Joshua is a heavyweight tank from the exact neighborhood of power Jake claims he belongs in. Same division, same playground, same depth of water, no excuses left, and that alone has driven the entire criticism industry into a meltdown bigger than any knockout he's ever produced. People who love Jake are calling this bravery, and that scares some folks more than any punch ever thrown. The funny part is that Jake stepping into this fight at an equal weight almost feels like he's been reading online comments like a checklist, and now he's standing across from a man who could accidentally knock out a refrigerator if it looked at him with disrespect.
If you gonna fight him, Jake Paul, fight him. I don't want to hear no clauses that Joshua got to come in at 220 pounds.
Oh, yeah, no,
I don't want to hear no every round gonna be 30 seconds. I don't want to hear no, wow, if you gonna fight the man, Jake Paul,
10 to 12
step
rounds.
into the ring, 10 to 12 rounds, and fight the man and earn everybody's respect, even in defeat. Because right now, it looks too much like a money grab. The fight with Tank got washed away.
Yeah.
And so anybody who knows anything about the industry, Jake Paul probably got paid in advance by Netflix.
Suddenly, the narrative has flipped. When he was fighting smaller guys, people complained that he was ducking challenges. Now that he's fighting a full-size boxing titan, the same people are shouting, "This is too far." There is no winning outside the ring, which is probably why Jake decided winning inside the ring is easier. And if he even comes close to beating Anthony Joshua, even if he makes this fight competitive, the conversation around him changes forever, not temporarily, not trend-based, permanently. If this madness works, he's the new king of unpredictability. If it backfires, well, at least the memes will be historic. What makes this even more absurd is how Jake's evolution has forced people to question the whole structure of boxing. And when security tried to stop him, he just kept knocking people out until the park said, "Fine, get on the roller coaster." Now he's in a seat next to Anthony Joshua, and the machine is about to ascend.
You say it's a fixed fight. Before you say it's this, it's that, oh my god, it's not a real pro, oh, it's gonna be bigger gloves, I bet. No, 10-ounce gloves, 8 3-minute rounds, sanctioned professional fight. It will go down literally on his record. So don't create false narratives now. It's literally a pro fight. Now this is not only the hardest fight, but most likely outcome is him literally leaving with fractured ribs, leaving with getting knocked out and getting embarrassed. But you gotta show respect now. You gotta show respect now. I showed respect to Jake and picked him in every single fight that he fought, even the one that he lost, and I always rooted for him because whether you like his personality or not, he's a guy with no amateur fights.
The risk he's taking isn't just physical, it's narrative suicide if things go wrong. If Jake loses badly, critics get to throw a world-class parade with banners, fireworks, and victory speeches dedicated to the words, "I told you so." But if he wins, the sport has to have a very uncomfortable meeting, because then the YouTuber isn't a YouTuber anymore. He becomes a star who didn't climb the ladder. He exploded through it. That's why this fight is terrifying for both sides. They're not just punching each other. They're punching for control of the future. Jake Paul used to be the outsider slingshotting rocks at the castle. Now he's at the drawbridge trying to break the gates down with dynamite and delusion-powered confidence. Anthony Joshua is the knight inside who spent his whole life preparing for real challenges, not cartoon characters who refuse to follow the laws of athletic reality, and yet here they are, forced into collision, the old world and the new world smashing together like two meteorites trying to share the same orbit.
fight, or you got to find a way to pay back that advance, or some insurance company is going to have to come back and subsidize the advance that Jake Paul got given. So Jake Paul's probably trying to figure out, okay, how can I find a way to not pay back this advance? I need to fight somebody. Bet. I'll fight Joshua. But Jake Paul, you already know you're finna get knocked out if you fight Joshua on legitimate boxing terms. If you gonna fight him, fight him.
Yeah.
And everybody will shut up talking to you for the rest of your boxing career.
But here's the twist no one wants to admit out loud. Jake Paul has helped boxing more than some purists ever did. Whether people cheer or boo, they watch, they argue, they debate. They talk about boxing at dinner tables again. His chaos has created interest in a sport that desperately needed energy. And now, by stepping up to face someone his size with genuine danger behind every punch, he's doing something that even his skeptics secretly respect. He's earning everything he used to borrow. If he wins, it's the biggest combat sports plot twist since someone decided to let Mike Tyson own tigers. If he loses with dignity, because nobody can say he took the easy path and the best part. Either way, when the dust settles, we'll be talking about this forever. Because Jake Paul didn't just join the game. He crashed it, rewrote the rules mid-match, and then challenged the final boss at equal weight just to prove he could.